Vezok, the beast. He's 100% animal, 0% pet. The Paraka are legendary sets, and Vezok proudly stands tall with all of them. This blue armored bad guy is frickin' fantastic. So let's dive on in and check out everything that this set has to offer. From the great play features to the incredible pieces. Pieces that have all sorts of good mocking potential. I'm ready. Let's go. Dude, sand blue and dark blue? Yes! Sand blue is just one of those LEGO colors that we did not get enough of, especially in Bionicle sets. For whatever reason, LEGO said, nope, you're not getting much of it. So you gotta treasure every last morsel of it that you can find. And this set is stupid with sand blue. It's fantastic. Another great thing about this set is Vezok's weapon. It's very much coded to look like a harpoon. Theming a water character's weapons like this is such a good idea. But actually you can flip this around and now it's a pirate hook. So all of the Paraka have this flipping weapon feature and it is the best. Even just the ability to rotate the blade inwards, actually going inside the arm, as you can see here, that's kind of a great touch, because you're able to pose Vezok in so many more dynamic poses. And you know, there is something kind of unnatural about a big old gap in someone's arm. A gap that has weapons passing through it. There is something a little bit unsettling about that. And you know what? That's perfect for a villain. Another brilliant staple of the Paraka are their eyes. These battery-powered pieces light up when you press down on the back. Dude, this was the greatest thing ever as a child. Pretending they're Superman and they got laser vision. You get your Paraka to stare directly at a Matoran and their eyes glow, scaring the pants off of them. I'm so glad these sets included this. Yeah, in general, the Paraka are wonderful. Scary looking white teeth that also look a little bit goofy at the same time. It gives them character, you know? And also they got these incredible rubber spines and masks. Look at that, how it flows down his back. And it even kind of drenches itself over his arms. Such a unique piece, isn't it? And while we're talking about parts and pieces, let's dive into some of the best parts that come in this set, shall we? I want to begin with Vezok's water harpoon. I am a massive fan of how Joxon has used it on this almost like grasshopper creature. It adds such a nice flair to this head design, the way it sort of flows backwards like that. Even the way that the kind of hook part of this piece curves around the eye. And using a Clickets piece for that actual eye, it's great to see. This is just so well integrated and such a distinct way of using this piece that I've not really seen anyone do before. Top tier stuff right here. But it's a jock mock. What did you expect? I touched upon the Paraka Arm piece a little bit before. So how can that be used? Labark1234 uses them for arms and also for legs, but I really like how they're used as thighs. The thicker shape of this element very much fits the natural anatomy of a humanoid thigh. It's a perfect match. Over to the clawed feet of Vezok. Kraken Bonks uses them for a nice hand design, linking them onto a hand socket and giving it a little extra thumb. So good. But if you don't really want to do that, do what Bonkeltopia has done. Here it's some sweet looking torso armor. I like how this looks. It's a great way to fill in that torso, and the texture of it does feel a little bit more villainous. Very nice for this Dark Hunter. Moving on over to the Paraka leg armor piece. D-Ragon Dog gives us a couple uses of this element. Looking closely, you can see it slapped onto the side of the torso. Simple, but very effective. The other use of it is down here on the leg. You'll notice that there is a different armor piece resting on top of the part that we're talking about. It's covering up pretty much like half of that element. I've always thought that this is such an underrated technique. Cover up a bunch of an element, and suddenly you can transform how that piece looks. It takes on a whole new form. It looks wildly different. Nice job. But let's talk about that white Paraka Skull. It actually glows in the dark too. Rondo Productions shows us that this looks amazing as a hoof on a horse. Everything about this is a great match. The shape of it, the size. Wow. And hey, let's focus on some sand blue. What about these hand sockets? Edon 475, they've reimagined Toa Motoro. And I want to draw your attention down here to the legs. We see this hand socket piece on the upper part of the leg, and then we have 3 more of them moving down to the knee. This technique here makes for a very posable and very compact knee design. If you've got a few sand blue hand sockets in your collection, you should try and recreate something similar to this. It could be pretty cool. And we'll finish off where we started, that rubber head and spine of Vezok. The underscore double uses 2 of these, and now they've become, well, actually a few different things. The head area here is being used as shoulder armor, and I like that the kind of horn on Vezok's forehead has become some sick-looking shoulder spikes. Very rock and roll. And now the spine itself has kind of become these funky tentacles, or perhaps it's some sort of fins. It's the kind of thing you'd see on a jellyfish or another aquatic creature. The shape and the silhouette of this is very striking. And it's quite unique too. You don't see something like this every day. I think it's great. Well, isn't that swell? That's a look at some of Vezok's more exciting pieces and how you can use them. But let's keep that excitement going as we check out 2 revamps of this amazing set. So okay, I teased you this guy in the thumbnail of the video, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to see this one, because we're gonna start off with something probably equally as cool. Bionic Forge took Vezok and turned him into a kind of Paraka and Godzilla hybrid. I love how much this leans into a bit of a lizard vibe. I mean, just check out this spiny back. This sea of spikes is so frickin' dope. The thick armored hide looking more like scales of a dinosaur. Oh, dude. And then this ends here in this aquatic fin that splits apart into 2 sections. This piece actually comes on the Ben 10 Ultra Build set, Big Chill. They're actually some of his wing pieces, but it translates quite well into an aquatic tail. Very clever. There's a lot of awesome shaping going on here, like the segmented sand blue armor. It's incredible. And it's quite nice to see some of these sand blue Technic panel pieces being integrated into the body. These are some relatively new pieces, and they only recently appeared in these colors, so yeah, it's always nice to see modern pieces being integrated into modern MOCs. People are buying new stuff and immediately experimenting with those pieces. That's just good to see. It was also a good choice to remove the rubber spine and replace it with this piece. If you weren't familiar, the canisters for the Paraka. The lids had these masks strapped on top, and you could remove them if you wanted to. It offers a nice alternative so that you don't have to deal with this gigantic rubber spine, which is cool, but there are certain circumstances where you don't want that. Like this. Everything about this rocks. Even just this little mini Zamisphere blaster in his hand, using ball joints instead of Zamispheres. Dude, this is mind-blowing. And now that revamp that I teased you before, this is the work of the mighty Poor Disadvantaged. I've heard people say that this is the best Vezok revamp ever. And you know what? I'm inclined to agree with them, although I did really like that last one. But what I love about this is all of the water references. Yeah, we have like waist decoration here that looks like sails or nets, or even some anchors that are strapped onto his waist. He's just adorned himself with all the kinds of things that you would find on a ship. And you know what? Perhaps these are trophies. Maybe Vezok spent some time destroying an armada of ships, and he took various pieces from the wreckage of those ships and wears them on his body. That's hardcore. We also have a pirate ship wheel strapped onto his belt, and we have a pirate hook replacing his hand. And then, even still, Vezok's weapons. We've got a trident and sort of like Harpoon style weapons. Bro even has an eye patch. The heavy sea inspiration here really shines through. And cool to see some of these dragon wings on his tail. It's the same idea as Bionic Forge, but it's executed with different parts. Fancy. Even just giving him new custom teeth, and they are tan instead of white. It's very pirate coded, isn't it? You know, he hasn't really been brushing his teeth. The pirate is free and happy, they don't need to worry about dental hygiene. so they've been discolored a little bit. Yeah, the look of that ties into the very rugged and ragtag appearance that he's got going on. This frickin' rocks. And that is the beauty of Vezok. What a good set. If you liked the MOCs that you saw in today's video, and you fancy yourself taking a look at even more, well, check the links below. The social media of everyone you saw today is waiting for you right there. Thank you for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2.